Hey, what's going on, Internet? Welcome to what may very well be the last deck tech for Magic 2015. And thank goodness, because I'm ready to play some Duels Origins. Anyways, after all these videos, I think this is the 76th video now, we have yet to play an actual Aura deck, so I guess we'll send things off with an Aura deck. So this is a Gruul Aura deck with a bunch of, power matters as far as blockability creatures, so I'll go through it real quick. 4 Satyr Hoplite, 4 Fear of the Bitten, 4 Inferno Fist, 4 Maniacal Rage, 2 Wrecking Ogre, 4 Spire Tracer, 4 Young Wolf, 4 Wandering Wolf, 1 Titanic Growth, 4 Gnarlid, and 2 Raised by Wolves with 23 lands, 12 mountains, 11 forests. So we have 12 total auras, 1 pump spell, and a Blood Rush Wrecking Ogre to buff our guys. And we have the Satyr Hoplite, so whenever you enchant him, he gets an additional +1/+1 counter plus whatever the enchantment gives him. We have our 12 enchantments here, 4 Furors, 4 Maniacal Rage. Now I think a lot of people sleep on this card because you got to really read the text there, because in a pinch it says enchant creature. It doesn't say like Inferno Fist, which enchant creature you control, which gets around you, enchanting their creature and then getting to use the shock effect on it. But you can actually enchant your opponent's creature so they can't block. Now obviously you don't want to do that unless you're actually going for lethal, but that is something you can do with that card, just so you know. And so it's a pretty basic deck. We have a bunch of evasion creatures. Spire Tracers can only be blocked by creatures with flying or reach. Not too, Hawks and Triplicate Spirits and Arbor Colossus, makes Spire Tracer sad, but whatever. Gets through, you usually see a bunch of Elvish Visionaries and Satyr Wayfinders and just nonsense like that gets in the way, raise the alarm tokens. So you don't want shit to get in the way. You don't want 1-power creatures to get in the way. So, you have the Spire Tracer, you have the Wandering Wolf. None of those, 1-power guys are going to be able to block it. And then, you can eventually buff it up later. And the Gnarlid, the same, has this Wandering Wolf's same ability, but it gets +1/+1 for each aura on the battlefield. That includes your opponent's auras. So, just take that into account. Every now and again it comes up. And so, not really too much to say about that. We have 4 Young Wolves, pretty resilient guy. The 1/1s will shut it down, but they'll lose a 1/1 and then you get to upgrade this to a 2/2. Also a wolf to help, top off our top end with 2 Raised by Wolves. Don't want to run 3. I just want 4 5-drops. So definitely the 2 Wrecking Ogres, which can, just steal games out of the blue. Because you can actually even, still Blood Rush this, after blocks are declared to make sure you don't Blood Rush the wrong guy. But yeah, so we have, 8 wolves and then plus the 2 wolves that it makes. So usually, just a +2/+2 plus however many wolves you have and make 2 more dudes. And, the Wrecking Ogre steals games and, it's perfectly fine to hardcast this, if you somehow fall behind. Like, you get angered or planar cleanse. It's usually the planar cleanse which will do you in. You can get a lot of your guys out of anger range, pretty well. Like at least the Gnarlids and Hoplites are pretty easy to get out of anger range. And an Inferno Fist, like it's not the best on a Hoplite or a Spire Tracer if they have flyers. But it's still good. Like Inferno Fist make the Hoplite 4/2. And you always got the sacrifice effect. I usually don't want to be... I usually develop the board a little bit first before I start slamming auras on anything, unless it's turn 1 Hoplite, slam any of the 12 auras on it. And so you're wondering about this, this Titanic Growth as a 1-of. I was running 24 lands, and I decided I can get away with 23, so I figured that's the next best thing to get in there, I suppose. It's cheap. And yeah, so we just kind of play early dudes, slam auras, and whatever. As far as the land base goes, just, you look at our mana distribution. Like I have a slightly more forests than mountains, but I also, you know, have more early red, or at least I want red more often than I want green early, and also the double red for Wrecking Ogre. But usually, you know, by the time you get to 5th mana, or 5 mana, you're going to have the mana for Wrecking Ogre or Raised by Wolves. I don't run any tap lands, because my justification is I'm going to lose more games by having to take a turn off accommodating a tap land than I will just being color screwed. So that's why. I mean, I have 12 1-drops, so I don't want to be taking turns off with tap lands. So, you know, if I get color screwed every now and again, so be it. But I think I'll lose less games because of it, rather than just taking, you know, entire turns off, you know, playing a tap land. So that's my philosophy behind that. And so, yeah, pretty basic aura deck. And we'll just run it through, see how it goes. It's maybe a little bit more fun to play than that travesty that was the land destruction deck, but I did it for you guys. So stay tuned and have a gameplay video up shortly. Goodbye.